Hey y'all, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to check out another one of my videos. I know today's look is a look, but we're gonna get into it today. Hello and welcome if you're new around here. My name is Katie Marie, and today I have a good chunk of brand new makeup that I really wanted to try, and I've just been putting off trying, and I have enough for pretty much a full face. So I was like, you know what? How about I sit down and do a full face of first impressions while talking about my favorite true crime channels? Because if you didn't know, besides beauty YouTube, true crime YouTube, I am very big in, and I made a comment in a previous video about true crime content, and I got a lot of people saying, well, hey, what do you recommend? So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and just share with you guys my favorite channels while I put on all my makeup. So yeah, if that sounds interesting to you, we can go ahead and jump right into it. As you guys already saw from the intro screen, I have the new palette from BK Beauty, True Beauty. I have the EXA Foundation. I have products from Lethal. I have products from Benefit, from Alamar Cosmetics. So lots of new products to try. Let's go ahead and jump right into it and cut over to a bare-faced Katie. Alright, so starting out, I'm going to be using the Alamar Cosmetics Pero Primo Primer. I'm so sorry, I always feel very inadequate when I try to pronounce that. But anyway, this is what I'm going to be using as we start this video off. It's really sticky and it gives just the hint. Oops, I need to make sure I'm in frame. Just the hint of coverage, as you can see. Like, it definitely has a sticky feel to it. And then looking between my eyes, I see just the slightest hint of coverage. So not a whole lot, but it gives a little bit. Okay, I moved you guys up a little bit and back a little bit, so hopefully you guys can see. And since I'm talking, I didn't want you guys zoomed up too close, so hopefully this is a good angle for me, because I tend to sit up straight to look down into a mirror, so I put you guys a little bit higher, so hopefully we can see everything. But yeah, let's go ahead and just jump in. We're going to be using the True Beauty palette from BK Beauty, and if you know me at all, you know these colors are just like not me, basically. However, I really want to try her formula, and I was extremely grateful that they even wanted to send this to me, so I did want to use it at least once on my channel, and I do realize that not everyone is like crazy about color like me who watches my channel, so this will be a tutorial, this will be a little demonstration, and you know, trying this palette for the first time for you guys who are probably really excited to see this palette and this color story and curious to know about the quality. So we're going to jump right in. I will say though, I'm not going for anything super light because I am Katie. Even though it is neutral, I'm going to see how much depth, how much intensity I can get from this palette. I think I'm going to start with, let's go with Love. And I'm going to put that into my crease just to see. This is my very first time dipping in, so I have no idea what kind of intensity and just like, you know, saturation the colors have. So we'll use this to start. But yeah, I want to chat with you guys about true crime channels, because I've been talking about doing like a YouTuber shout out video for like the non beauty related videos, channels that I watch, and I just haven't got around to it for the longest time. And so I was like, you know what, I'm doing all these first impressions, all these trying new products and stuff like that. And I finally had the idea, like, since I am doing so many first impressions type tutorial videos because so many new palettes have been coming out, I was like, you know what, why don't I just chat about the different categories in the videos as I am trying this on. And since today's video is going to be a longer one because I do have a full face of first impressions to do, I figured we could chat about true crime because I definitely have a lot of true crime channels that I like to watch. So this is going on pretty nice. I don't have a primer or like a colored concealer colored base underneath, so keep that in mind, but I think that's going on nice. Okay, moving on, I'm going to go to Queen for the deepest shade out here. So the very first one that I highly recommend and absolutely love, and I watch every single one of her uploads almost the moment. I'm a mom, but I watch it pretty much as soon as she uploads, is StephanieHarlowe. She's just, I think the reason I can safely name her as my absolute favorite is because she goes in depth, like crazy in-depth. Whenever she studies and like talks about a crime or a person, serial killer, whatnot, she goes all the way back to the beginning, like the beginning when that person was first born, or sometimes she even goes to the kind of the childhood of the parents, because the parents are the ones that raised the person. So all the way back to the parents and talk about them before talking about the person or the case or what have you. And I absolutely love that. It's always fascinating, and I find it so informative when I can go back and just hear the whole story of how it all happened, because like even with not even just serial killers but like random murders, it didn't just all happen that one day, you know, stuff led up to it, just to have more of a clearer picture instead of just like a headline. I find it a lot more helpful to hear the whole story. I don't really always want the clip notes. I prefer to have all the details when I have the time. So anyway, StephanieHarlowe gives me that beautifully. I am currently, at the time of me recording this, just finished her Joseph Mangala series. that was a heavy one. Oh my goodness, but it was very good. She did it so well. I've just been thinking about it a lot. And I want to learn more about World War II and the Nazis and stuff like that because I don't know enough. I've found out just listening to a little bit of her story, and I just feel like I'm definitely a firm believer in I don't know who said, started the saying, but those who do not learn of the mistakes of the past are doomed to repeat them. And I definitely believe that because I feel like if you look throughout history, there's so many times where it's just like this vicious cycle of repeating. And anyway, so I just like learning history because I feel like we can learn a lot from history. Okay, so I'm going to take a pause talking about Stephanie. This is patching right here, but I don't think, I should have thought of this before, but I don't think it's from the eyeshadow. I do believe that's from the primer because it's right here on the edge where I was like tapping out, and I probably didn't tap thoroughly and blend it well there because I do that a lot. I know, I get annoyed with myself when I don't do that, or when I don't take the time to do that well, but that is patching a little bit. But on this side, I don't really see it, maybe a little bit in the crease. I'm 99% sure it's not the palette, it's the primer because sticky primers do this to me all the time. Anyway, at this point, let's see. I do want to see if I can darken that corner just a little bit, but I do like what I'm seeing. I'm going to take that same brush I used in the crease, and I'm going to go on top with just a little bit of Grace. It's just the lighter version of Love. Okay, I got interrupted there, but anyway, I'm just kind of going on, and that, I think that built up nicely and just gave it a little bit of lightness to the very edges of my look. And it's actually, I'm kind of surprised by how much depth I'm able to get. I do like what I'm seeing there. At this point, I'm going to pause real quick, and I'm going to pop on a cut crease. Okay, so I started to do this side and then the kids needed me, so I went ahead and put the eyeshadow on, as you can obviously see, and then I did it on this side. So now we can do this side together. First impressions real quick. I was not expecting how pigmented these are. I don't know, just like looking at them in the palette and knowing that they're more of a satin finish, I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to pack these on. You're gonna see you really don't have to pack them on. Like, it's got a nice amount of pigmentation to it. Okay, so I'm just gonna take Brooklyn now and I'm gonna put that on the first half. So yeah, just kind of continuing on. It's going to be a very like stop and go. I hope you guys don't mind. It's kind of like how I make every conversation in the midst of doing other things. But anyway, yeah, StephanieHarlowe is just so very thorough, and she just takes the time to like go back and really like thoroughly research and gives me that type of information that I like to know, but I just never have the time to find it for myself. I highly recommend her Mangala series. I highly recommend all of her videos. Like, they're just so good. I'm going to go in with Kate now and go pack that on the rest of it. But yeah, see how like super easy and pigmented? There's nothing sparkly, nothing metallic, nothing even that shimmery, but it is just a gorgeous, like so pigmented. I am impressed. Anyway, yeah, I highly recommend all of her videos. I just finished the Mangala series because I missed it when it first, or I didn't miss it. I listened to it when it first came out, but the day was always so hectic. I tend to listen to it like as I clean and stuff like that, so I remembered like barely anything from the series. So I just went back and rewatched them during nap times while I was cleaning this past week, and it was just so very good. Yeah, absolutely love her. She's very thorough. She has, the way she presents cases and the way she talks is very like, I think you would call it dry humor. I don't mean that like in a bad way. I absolutely love it, but she's just very serious, very matter of fact in the way that she shares things. But she has humor that she throws in every now and then. It almost catches you off guard because you almost don't expect it. So she's just very easy to listen to, very easy to get that information from. And yeah, she's just like the top one I would recommend if you want to try one out and you like to have all the information. So anyway, at this point, I'm just going to feather this side like I did here because I love this ombre between the two. I think it's very pretty, so I'm going to do that a little bit more on this side. And then we'll be pretty much done with the eyeshadow for now, and we'll go move on to the wing liner, which will bring a little bit of Katie to this look. Okay, so first impressions real quick. This, if you like neutral tones, I am very impressed with the formula. Like the pigmentation, the saturation. I feel like just looking at this and the shimmers, they just don't look that impressive. However, they're nicely pigmented. So if you're someone who doesn't like super sparkly, super metallic, super textured, I think the quality and like the pigmentation of these is just so very nice. I am impressed. And the mattes too, very pigmented, very easy to like apply. There's just only one bald spot, and again, since I don't really see it anywhere else, I didn't really have any other issues except on the outer corner. Pretty sure it's that sticky primer. I am so sorry about that, but first impressions are very positive, which It's really taking me by surprise because, as I said, I was not really expecting to jive with this palette because it's so very neutral. However, this look is really pretty. I think it's really, really nice. There is a good bit of fallout, so I'm just taking some makeup remover and I'm going to clean that up, and then we're going to move on to another new product, which is green liner from Lethal. I made a Lethal order, so there's going to be a lot of Lethal Cosmetics products in here, but look at this green. Does it match what I have on or like what I have going? Absolutely not. But in my mind, I was saying it'll match because I have a little bit of purple in there, and then I'll put green in there. It'll be a pop of something different. It probably won't match, but that's okay. It doesn't always have to. We're just going to go with it. So I'm going to put this on. I'm going to wing it out with the E06 brush from Sigma. Okay, first impressions, I'm actually really not impressed. The formula is very sheer, and because it's not a liquid, it's like a thicker formula, so it's wanting to ball up in places. So let me see if I can fix this. I don't think it looks terrible on camera, but in person, I definitely don't like how it's looking. Okay, yeah, I gotta do this to the other side now. I'm not crazy about this. Sorry, Lethal. I like most all their other products, but this first, I mean, maybe it'll be fine for just like, I don't know, even like lining and just doing little detail work. It's just so hard to make it opaque, and for it being like a neon, this isn't really popping because it's going so subdued. I don't know, it doesn't have enough brightness to it. I don't know, I guess I'm comparing it now to like the water activated liners that I have from Midas, and those are just so much more intense. And also like easier to put on because you can just put a nice amount of water so it just kind of runs over. This, it's because it's that gel formula. I feel like I'm fighting to get it to like transfer. And also too, in the pot, it looks, I don't know if you can see, but it's a little cracked around the edges, almost like it's not that it's saying that this is drying out, but it's definitely a dry formula. So I feel like I'm trying to stamp it here because I don't want to make it too big. It's not really wanting to go. I don't know. First impressions on this, I'm not impressed. So let me do it to the other side. I'm just going to cut this out because it's just going to be a lot of pain and misery watching me try to do this on the other side. Okay. I think I'm just going to admit defeat at this point and leave it as is because I'm kind of done fighting over it. But here's what we got. My first impressions on this, did I even tell you guys it's the Lethal, I don't know, neon gel liner in Equalize. My first impressions are not that good. I'm going to use this Bobbi Brown. This is the Smoky Eye Mascara. I got it in Ipsy, which I did an unboxing. I'll put that up here, but since we're trying new makeup, I figured I'd try this on camera. But yeah, I really do enjoy StephanieHarlowe. She's got great content. If you are at all interested in just kind of seeing, you know, what true crime is, and it's not, or if you're someone who thinks that like the true crime community is just about, I don't know, talking, gossiping about cases and people. The people that I watch are always very respectful to the people, like to the victims and stuff like that. And I think StephanieHarlowe is a great one to start with because she handles everything really well. And also to know a history. I think it's fascinating and important to know about the people who came before us because, you know, these were actually people, and many of them whose lives, the victims, were cut short because of something terrible that happened. And I don't know, I think it's just kind of sad for their names to be lost and forgotten. So I really like learning about these people who really did live and really did have lives and really impacted people. And yeah, I like history. I think it's important, and I just feel like I can always learn something. Okay, that's actually really pretty. It did nothing to bulk up my lashes, but for the sake of like fanning them out and defining them. What do you guys think? I think that's pretty. Okay, so now we're going to try the foundation. This is from EXA, and I got Emily 450. I have no idea if this will work. It does look a little dark. We're going to give it a try while we talk about our next true crime YouTuber, which is EleanorNeale. Now, I'm sure she gets tired of hearing this, but I love her accent. Like, I think it is absolutely beautiful. Every time she opens a video and she says, so today's video is going to be, I cannot do her accent justice, but it is gorgeous. If you like accents and whatnot, if you are, I don't know, I just find it so pleasing to listen to. Highly recommend her, but she does true crime as well. And she's also someone who goes very in depth on cases and really shares more, you know, not just the highlights kind of thing, but really goes and shares about the people. I think this is gonna be too dark, about the people's history, where they came from, kind of back in the beginning. Is it as deep and back in the beginning as StephanieHarlowe? I'm not sure. She goes pretty far back. She recently, I think the one that stands out to me most, a recent case she did was like the Lululemon murders, and I think it was a 2-part or 3-part, but she went back and gave like the history of the people involved and all that, and was very detailed in sharing about the case and then afterwards and stuff like that. So she's also very thorough. And I really, again, you're going to see this as a trait, like with all of the YouTubers I mentioned, they all are very thorough. They don't just give the highlights and just kind of talk and gossip and give like their own opinions or own assumptions about things. They're very good at like giving all the facts, and they'll also share their own opinions and their own thoughts, especially for cases that like don't have a clear ending and whatnot, but they still do a really good job at just giving you what happened. And Eleanor is another one, and I like her channel also because she does a lot of cases, I feel like, that are around the world a little bit more than maybe some of, I mean, all the channels are pretty good at doing all sorts of different cases, but I feel like I hear cases from her channel, Eleanor's channel, that I don't always hear, that I've never heard of before, and that are very unique. This foundation has a very big fragrance. What is that? Makes me think of fruit. I'm not saying it looks bad, but oof, I just caught a couple big whiffs as I was blending it in. Anyway, so yeah, EleanorNeale, I really do love her accent, and she's very thorough. She's very, the way she, presents a case is very respectful to all of these ladies. Even if I don't say it, they're very respectful to the victims and the people who are affected by, the cases or, the murders and whatnot. And yeah, she's just a fantastic, fantastic YouTuber. And as I said, I just feel like she's a bit more unique with the cases she shares that I don't always hear from other channels or from other places and whatnot. I just feel like I learn a lot more about places and people and things that I've never heard of before. So yeah, that foundation looks really nice. It feels a little sticky, so we're going to leave it alone and go on with the concealer, and I'm using the Benefit Boing Cakeless Concealer. This isn't a first impressions because I've been using it for a little while, but I've never used it on my channel, so I figured I would do that today. Let's see how that goes. It's definitely very light, but typically it works out fine. So yeah, Eleanor, what else can I say about her except that I absolutely love her. Her accent is gorgeous, and she is so very thorough. She's so very respectful. She's another YouTuber that gives me really long videos, so she's, with all her like older content, I typically download the older ones so that I can listen to them in the car or while I'm working, or sometimes even I've done it with the kids when they're playing outside and whatnot, and they're just playing so nice with each other, like I don't want to move. And so I like to have videos kind of like that I can just stick my earphones in my ear and then listen to it as I'm working. Highly recommend her. I feel like from here on out it's going to get very repetitive because all of the YouTubers, I feel like I can say the same thing. That concealer is really nice. It's a touch light for me, but besides that, it's not, I haven't been minding it. I do feel like sometimes it creases, so that's why I haven't shared a review, because I haven't decided quite yet if it creases for everything or if it just creases for, maybe I blended it out bad. But anyway, this is from MannaKadar, their setting powder I got in a box. I think I unboxed it on here. I'm going to just tap this out and then very lightly set my face because it still feels very, very sticky, and I am not into the stick. So anyway, yeah, EleanorNeale, StephanieHarlowe, highly recommend them both. Next up, I want to talk about, I'm going to talk about the group together, and then I'll talk about the people individually because they both have their own channels. But Crime After Crime podcast. It's a YouTube channel. They have a podcast. I only watch them on the YouTube channel because I'm slowly getting into podcasts. But anyway, I cannot recommend their channel enough. If you enjoy learning about true crime, but maybe sometimes it's just too heavy for you, you need to check out Crime After Crime podcast because it's run by DanelleHallan and John Lordan, I believe is his last name. And they only released an episode once a month, and every month they have a competition where they have a theme and they both have to find a case to, look into, research, and present to their audience, and then the audience over the course of the rest of the month votes on who they think came up with the best case, the most unique case, the most interesting case, whatever, what have you, who won, basically. And then so they keep a tally all year, and then once a year they'll kind of tally up and see who won ultimately, like who got the most cases, who got the most points for the best cases, and it's just so much fun. They've done stuff like, Valentine's Day things. They've done like food. I think the most recent one that comes to mind is like food themed crimes, and that was hilarious. So some of them can get a little, serious, a little little intense in that respect, but for the most part, it's very light and not so dark or very, very sad. I'm going to go in with the Thrive Brow product for my brows real fast. So like, you know, a lot of cases can be really heavy, and these are just, with them having two people on it, I feel like they're able to kind of bounce back. They have a really good like relationship and personality with each other. They just harmonize so well, and I find them just so very nice to listen to. I look forward to it every single month. They always drop it the first of the month, and I make it a priority to watch it as soon as I can once it's dropped because I just enjoy it. Definitely recommend starting with the Crime After Crime podcast because it's just a lot more of a lighthearted, not lighthearted, I don't want to say that in the wrong way, but it's a more uplifting and relaxing, I guess, listen to, because sometimes some, you know, channels, depending on the case, can be really heavy and it's just really hard. So it's a lot more easy to process, easy to take in and enjoy. So definitely recommend them. And kind of segueing into that, I want to talk about them both individually because they both have their own true crime channels. But before we do that, let's talk about my other lethal products that I have. I got one of their contours and one of their blushes. And I'm going to put it on the screen here because I don't remember what it was and I just stuck it in there. And then also, since I'm using that, I'm also going to use, where is it? The highlighter. I have the highlighter Isotope. It's not new though, but I'm going to use it today. So as I put this on, let's talk about DanelleHallan. She focuses a lot on missing persons. So if you are someone who, well, you know, I don't know, wants to learn more about that, or just wants to maybe help if you can, depending on where the cases are and whatnot, and wants to know like who to go to learn about cases, DanelleHallan, check her out. I would highly recommend her. She talks about so many just missing persons cases, and she really goes into the case and kind of shares with you what happened. She kind of shares a little bit about what the person's life was like before all this happened, what exactly happened when they went and disappeared, and then she goes into all the different kind of variables of what could have happened, what police or people think might have happened, and she just shares all the different theories, and then she'll share her own as well. But she just is, you know, again, she kind of gets all the facts together and shares it to you in a really easy to listen to way. And yeah, I think it's important for people who have missing persons cases for their stories to get out there, because you never know who might hear. And I mean, some of these people have been missing since they were kids, so you never know who might be found through these videos. Okay, take a pause to talk about the products. This bronzer looks really nice. I think it's a little, just a touch too warm to use as a contour. Not that that's a bad thing. I was wanting something more for a bronzer, but it's got enough coolness that I like in a bronzer. Ooh, that looks a little too hard. We'll fix that. But yeah, I think I'm going to really like this. The color is great. I'm going to really like this, I know. So let me tap some powder over this and chill it out, and let's talk about John Lordan. I'm the newest one to his channel, but he does a lot of really great cases, and they're called Brain Scratch, and he just kind of goes into a case, shares all the information, and I've really been enjoying him. Like I said, I'm very new to him. I've been following the Crime After Crime podcast for like maybe a year, maybe a little under a year, and I just now checked out John Lordan's YouTube channel. I don't know why it took so long. I'm gonna go in with the orange now, but so I'm really new to his information or like his videos, but I really do enjoy them. They're very easy to listen to, and if you like and enjoy more of those podcast form videos and not so much, I don't know, YouTube, I feel like he's just really great at that podcasty voice. I don't know, just that presenting that information in a really easy way to understand and a really enjoyable way to listen to. I'm using this really fluffy brush because I wasn't sure how pigmented they are. They're definitely pigmented, but I feel like this brush makes it hard to blend out. I forget who mentioned using this type of brush for really pigmented blushes, but I don't know if I like it. It's just so flimsy. Anyway, yeah, really recommend his Brain Scratch videos, and he's very thorough, again, with how he researches cases, and I really enjoy his channel. Highly recommend him. Okay, at this point, let me go ahead and put, I don't think I have that type of green to put in my waterline, but I'm going to go ahead and stick, I think I'm going to stick purple, because I feel like that makes sense since I have purple, a hint of purple on the outer corner. So we're going to put a little bit of this in my waterline, and then we'll finish out the lower lash line. Okay, this isn't really a bright purple, so I don't really think you'll be able to tell much, but maybe when we put the purple on the lower lash line, I don't know. Anyway, going back to the True Beauty from BK Beauty, I'm going to start with this shade, and then I'm going to blend this shade on the inner half. Okay, I really do need to pick it up because I'm just about done with my makeup and I've only done a handful of YouTubers, so let's keep it moving. The next YouTuber that I really enjoy watching and I recommend, let me start on this side, is what is her name? Georgia Marie. I'm so sorry. Georgia Marie. She is another UK true crime channel, and her videos are a lot shorter, so maybe if, you know, you hear me describing these hour-long or longer videos is a little bit much for you, I would say definitely check out her channel, because I feel like most of her videos, maybe she has some longer ones, not to say that she doesn't, but a lot of her videos are around the 20 to 30 minute mark. I feel like she's a little bit more short and to the point. And she's another YouTuber that I feel like I just learned about so many interesting cases from. I mean, all of these YouTubers do a good job. They're not just like talking about the most popular cases that are out there and the ones that, I don't know, not to say this in a bad way, but get the views. They really focus on sharing. I mean, they really do just want to share these people's cases. So they find really, not unique, but just they find a lot of different type of cases, because they're not just in this to get views, I guess is what I'm saying. They're really in this to share people's stories. So anyway, she is definitely another YouTuber that I feel like I've learned about so many different type of cases. She does a lot over in the UK and whatnot, and just a lot of very interesting cases too. She also has a little history series that I've been enjoying on her channel, kind of going into different events, I guess you could say, and things that happen, and not just like a person or something like that, a big event. And she kind of goes into that and shares it. And okay, had a little interruption and I'm back, but I forget where I left off. Anyway, yeah, Georgia Marie. Highly recommend her. Really, really sweet girl, really thorough and really great information, and I highly recommend her. Let me go ahead and put on some highlighter. This is Isotope from Lethal, and I'm going to use this as my inner corner as well. This isn't new, but I figured since I don't have a new highlighter and I was using those new face products from Lethal, I would do their, so pretty, I would do their highlighter as well. Okay, the next YouTuber I want to talk about is BrookeMakenna. She is fairly new to me, not as new as John Lordan, but I think I just found BrookeMakenna maybe 2-3 months ago, and she's fantastic. If you are that into that ASMR type of content, I'm not, but her voice just makes me think of ASMR every time, because it's so very relaxed and beautiful is I guess is how I could describe it. She has an ASMR channel, so she's already like into that ASMR stuff. But anyway, her voice and the way she, you know, talks and presents cases is so very relaxing and just calm. I really enjoy it. I especially like to listen to hers like at night, maybe as I'm finishing cleaning up, and it's just, her voice is just so nice and calming. Like I said, I just really enjoy listening to her. And she, her channel, I would say, her like specialty, I guess is what I'm saying. But she does a lot of kids, talks about a lot of kid cases and really interesting cases. I learn about so many unique cases and people and whatnot. And she also grew up fostering, like her family fostered a lot, so she has a heart for kids. I could definitely just kind of describe her channel in that way. And so she shares a lot about cases that have to deal with kids, which can be honestly really heavy and sad, but she handles it all very well. And I think it's, like I said, it's important to know about their stories, and I just think it's important to learn and not just let it, you know, be forgotten. So yeah, really into more focus, I would say, on kids, but she does a lot of cases in general. You know, they're not all just children, but she does a lot of very unique cases. A lot of like missing and found, you know, captive kind of cases where these kids or these people were, you know, taken and then years later they were found again. And I always like those cases because I think it's very encouraging to hear that there's so many people that I feel like that go missing, and too often, especially, you know, ones from long ago, I feel like you never hear about if they were found or not. So I always enjoy that. But anyway, yeah, BrookeMakenna, she is just so sweet. That's the best way I can describe her. Just the sweetest person. And I highly recommend her channel. I really do enjoy it. I have a black lipstick today. I am so excited. This is, again, from Lethal. This is the liquid lipstick in Abyss. I know it doesn't really go with the eye look, but hey, we're all mismatched here today. Ooh. It's a very thin formula, pretty opaque, a little questionable on the inside corner. My ear itches for some reason today. I feel like I've been itching a lot in this video. I'm so sorry, but yeah, I think that's pretty. I don't mind it. It's a little questionable on the inside. Maybe I should touch it up one more time. That's the only problem with black lipstick. I feel like it looks so pretty when your mouth is shut. But when it's open, especially for me, because I can never kind of connect it there, it always wears away. It just looks drastic. And I got it on my teeth. So yeah, that is the look, and I think I shared all of the YouTubers. Let me double check my list. Oh, I did forget KendallRae. I watch her as well. I'm gonna put her here at the end. I'm so sorry, I'm gonna rush this, but KendallRae, I also really enjoy her channel. She is a bit more like when I was talking about everyone else being so like thorough and giving like really long and detailed and going back. She does go back and she does share, you know, more about the case than just the, you know, the incident that happened. However, I would still classify her videos as a little bit more of just like clip notes, like the main points. They're just a little bit more short and concise. I feel like her videos again are around the 30-minute mark, so they're not like super detailed, super in-depth and whatnot, but I do still enjoy, you know, her channel, and I enjoy hearing the cases that she brings, but I would definitely describe it as a little bit more, not as in-depth. So I hope that doesn't come across as like a diss to her at all. It's definitely her style. She has a very nice style. I really enjoy her content. I really enjoy, you know, watching her videos, but they're just a little bit shorter and to the point, kind of highlights things than I would like. I like to go more in depth, I guess is what I should say. Okay, I'm just gonna stick this right in here with a voiceover. If you hear any background noise, that's Levi, he's awake and playing in the background. But I just wanted to let you guys know that this video was actually pre-recorded at the beginning of last month. And during that time, I found another true crime YouTuber that I really want to share with you guys, and it is sherrilyndaleofficial. And I have really been enjoying her content. I have been binging a lot of her older videos and really enjoying it. She mixes up true crime with other type of videos, beauty related and lifestyle related. Mainly I've been focusing on her true crime videos, which are very good, nice and thorough, nice and long, and yeah, highly recommend them. I'll keep this short and sweet so you don't have to hear Levi too much, but since I'm uploading this video after discovering her channel, I do want to mention in today's video, and I will link her down below in the description box with the rest of the YouTubers I recommend in today's video. Okay, so I just got interrupted by the kids. I gotta go. They're up and ready to play all day. But anyway, this is the look. Let me get some close-up shots and we can end out this video and I can go play with the kids. They didn't comment on my black lipstick, so I guess they don't mind it. Alright, so this is the look. Per usual, I'll go ahead and pick up some close-up pictures so you guys can really see. I think the only thing I missed kind of giving my first impressions on was the foundation. The foundation is no longer sticky because I powdered it pretty heavy because it definitely was sticky. And now that it's powdered, it looks nice. It just feels a little thick. Not thick, but it just feels a little noticeable on my skin. Like I can feel it sitting on my skin. So I don't know if this is one that's going to really cause the oils to break through on my face throughout the day. Time will tell. I'm going to definitely continue using this, but I was just really curious to try this brand, so I am glad that the foundation color really works. Yeah, that was the only thing I don't think I shared my first impressions with. Everything else I think I already shared in the video. So yeah, that is going to be the look. I'm going to keep this outro pretty short and sweet because the kids are having a snack waiting for me. So yeah, I think that's going to do it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up on your way out as it helps me in the whole YouTube algorithm. And if you want to continue getting daily content from me, I'm over on Instagram. I'm LadyKatie92. Don't forget I have a giveaway running all month long for December. I have 2 separate giveaway boxes that I've just filled with makeup that I'm giving to 2 of y'all. Open International. I'll put all the information up here and also down in the description box if you want to go check it out. But yeah, with all that said, that is going to do it for today's video, and I'll see you very soon in my next video tomorrow.